Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu attaqullah wabtaghu ilayhi al-wasila wajahidu fi sabilihi la'allakum tuflihun. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O believers. So Allah is addressing those who have faith, iman. So the first condition here is faith and iman. So if you are a people of faith and iman, then Allah says, ittaqullah, observe taqwa. If you are a mu'min, the second condition is taqwa. And taqwa, is wajib, is obligatory. What is taqwa? Simply speaking, taqwa is to perform wajibat, what is duty, and to avoid muharramat, what is haram. This is taqwa. And taqwa is wajib. Then Allah says, وَابْتَغُوا إِلَيْهِ الْوَسِيلَةِ. If you want to go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you want to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need wasila, you need means. And seek for means, take some means to get close to Allah. And this is wajib also. Whenever there is a amr, there is an imperative, there is a command, and there is no context that it is mustahab, then it is wajib. Taqwa is wajib, no doubt. And ibtigha'ul wasila, to take a means to go towards Allah, again is wajib. Wajahidu fi sabilihi, jihad also is wajib. Then Allah says, la'allakum tuflihun, then you may succeed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says you have to take means going towards Allah. What are these means? There are different views among the different schools of thought. One of the things that there is no doubt about that Quran declares is to take Asma-ullah as the means in going towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah A'raf verse 180, Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ-الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. If you want to make a dua, then you need wasila, ibtigha'ul wasila. It's wajib to bring something as the means to make you close to Allah. And Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ-الْحُسْنَى. Those good names are for Allah. So appeal to those names of Allah in order to get close to Allah. So if you want to get close to Allah, if you want to ask something from Allah, you have to know to which name of Allah you have to appeal. It's a very instrumental role to know to which name of Allah to appeal. So those ulama who were masters of irfan, when somebody went to them asking for some hajat, they knew to advise you which name to appeal and how to appeal and how many times you have to recite it or what to do to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through that name. One of the very good ways, this is very important, what I'm saying is very important. One of the very good ways to know the names of Allah and what is the function of each name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to look at the verses of Quran. You see there are different concepts coming in different verses, and at the end one name of Allah is mentioned. The function, the story, the event which is being mentioned in the verse, it is very connected to the name that's coming at the end. Studying these verses, it can help you to know about the function of names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the fields of Islamic studies is theoretical irfan, al-irfan al-nadhari. Actually, one of the things that is one of the main discussions in irfan al-nadhari, theoretical irfan mysticism, is these names of Allah. One of the ways, easy ways that you and me, we can learn about is to refer to the verses of Quran. For example, Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 115, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ فَأَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. For Allah is the east and the west. Wherever you go, to which direction you face, that is the face of Allah. Of course, in Salat we have been commanded to face Qibla, Kaaba as the Qibla. When Salat is wajib, obligatory Salat, we have to face Kaaba as the Qibla. For the unity and for the other wisdoms which is there. But the point is that to address Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't need to face Kaaba. That's why in salat, which is mustahab, in recommended salat in nawafil, you can stay any direction you like. أَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. For salat, which is mustahab, you don't need to necessarily face qibla, any direction. Why? Because in salatul nafila, it doesn't mean that qibla is not needed. Qibla is very extent. In salatul wajib, qibla is limited only to face Kaaba. But in mustahab salat, you can face anywhere. Why? Imam alayhi salam said, أَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. Allah is everywhere. Anywhere that you face, any direction you face, that is the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is everywhere. Then it says, Inna Allah wasi'un alim. Allah is alim. Allah has the knowledge. Allah hears you. Allah knows about you. Wherever you are. Any direction you face, Allah knows about you. Allahu wasi'un. Wasi'. The most bounteous. The one whose hand is full. The one who has abundant. So you don't need to go from a specific direction at a specific time. Allah is everywhere. So you see, when the concept is coming, according to this concept, at the end, two names of Allah is mentioned. Wasi', Alim. In another place, Ash-shaytanu ya'idukum al-faqr. When you want to give charity, when you want to do something for the sake of Allah, shaitan says, no, don't do that. You need it yourself. Ash-shaytan ya'idukum al-faqr wa ya'murukum bil-fahsha. And commands you to do vice and corruption. Lots of the sins and corruptions that we do, we get into is because shaitan makes us to fear about something for the future. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. Do this. Do the robbery. Get the bribe. You need it for the future. So lots of sins that we have is because shaitan makes us afraid of the future. Then it says, وَاللَّهُ يَئِدَكُمْ مَغْفِرَةً مِّنْهُ وَفَضْلًا. Allah, shaitan reminds you of your poverty, but Allah reminds you of His wealth and of His richness, of His extra abundant blessing and mercy which is with Him. Then He says, وَاللَّهُ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. Again, Allah is the most bounteous. Allah knows. Allah knows everything. Well, knows about you. So when Allah is about to talk about His generosity and the abundant mercy that is with Him, He reminds you of these two names. ثُمَّ أَفِيزُوا مَنْ حَيْثُ أَفَاظَ النَّاسِ in Hajj. وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهِ. Ask Allah for forgiveness. Whatever you have done, whatever sins, how much sins you have piled up on the shoulders. In Arafat, استغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم. Allah is forgiving. Allah is Rahim, a specific rahmah for believers in Arafat. So the name of Ghafur, forgiving, the name of Rahim. Rahim is the one who has abundant, extra mercy for the believers. Ar-Rahman is the blessing for all. Kafir, Muslim, animals, plants, whatever. They face Allah by the name Rahman. But it's only believers who face Allah by the name Rahim. A special mercy for believers. In another place says, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about His majesty, about His greatness, talking about Arsh, throne of Allah, that is the place that Allah establishes His command. So He's about to talk about the greatness, the majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here He has to talk about this concept of greatness of Allah. Because Ayatul Kursi is talking about this. At the end it says, وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Allah is Azim. Not only Azim is great, He is Ali also. Ali means so high. Actually, in two places in Quran we have this concept. It's another place in Surah Ash-Shura, verse 4. لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. To Him belongs whatever in the heavens and the earth. Again, He is so high, He is supreme, and Azim, He is so great, exalted. And it's only these two places in Quran that the concept of Azim is mentioned for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have another place that Allah in Surah Al-Waqi'ah verse 74 says, فَسَبِّحْ بِسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْعَزِيمِ إِسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْعَزِيمِ. There Allah is talking about the name, إِسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْعَزِيمِ, the great name of your Rabb. Some of us they say Azim is for Rabb, some say Azim is for Ism. The great name of your Rabb or the name of the great Rabb. You can take this adjective for both. But anyhow, declaration is in only these two places. That when Allah is talking about something high, Allah's majesty, Allah's greatness, the supreme authority and power, only two places in Quran Allah says, Huwa al-Aliyul Azim. That's why when we recite Quran at the end, when we want to say Sadaqallah, we say Sadaqallahul Aliyul Azim. We don't have Sadaqallahul Azim in Quran. Azim is not in Quran. When Allah is to address Allah in Quran says Aliyul Azim. So the way that our brothers of Ahlul Sunnah they say Sadaqallahul Azim is not as accurate as ours. We are talking about the word of Quran, the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You recite in Quran. At the end you want to say that this word is higher than the words of any other speaker. Any person who speaks, these words are higher than any other words. So here what suits the content is to say Sadaqallahul Aliyul Azim. This Ali is very important here to put the concept in a true meaning. Some of our Sunni brothers they think that Ali is Imam Ali. Even some Shias may think like that. You know, this is shirk. If you believe that this Ali is Amirul Mu'minin, this is shirk. This is not Amirul Mu'minin. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim. So Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim better suits the verses of Quran. And also the concept that what you are doing, you are reciting Quran, and at the end you want to say that this word is higher than the word of any other human being or any other person who speaks. So it's better to say Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim, not Sadaqallahul Azim. So you see that the names of Allah coming at the end of the verse, I said, these Asma-ullah, then you know that how to appeal to these names. And at the end I want to refer to very beautiful verses, two very beautiful verses. Be with me, inshallah you will enjoy it. Surah Al-Fatir, verse 29. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. Those who recite the book of Allah, Quran. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً. And those who give and spend their money in the way of Allah after performing salat, secretly or openly. يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَن تَبُورَ. They have the hope in making business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a business that there is no failure, there is no loss in it. Who? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. Those who are with what? With Quran. And Iqam as-salat, Ita zakat is practicing Quran. Is practicing what Quran has commanded you. Isn't it? So those who are with Quran, what happens to them? لِيُوَفِّيَهُمْ أُجُورَهُمْ وَيَزِيدُهُمْ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. And Allah will give extra. Allah, with Allah is extra. You know, you have a rizq. You have a specific amount of rizq. That is your rizq. That is the obligatory rizq that comes to you. But if you want extra, there are other conditions. If you do that, extra rizq will come to you. So we have two types of rizq. One rizq which is the obligatory, necessary, that will come to you under any circumstances. But the other extra abundant with Allah, Allah says you have to, if you want it, you have to work more. You have to meet the qualities. When you have those conditions, you will have extra. So you see, in many places, Allah talks about the extra which is with Allah. Here Allah says, those who are with Quran, لِيُوَفِّيَهُمْ أُجُورَهُمْ. Allah will give them the reward. وَيَزِيدُهُمْ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. More than the rewards. There is extra more than the reward. إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Allah is forgiving, Allah is shakur. Only in 2 places in Quran Allah says Ghafurun Shakur. In 2 places in Quran the term Ghafurun Shakur is mentioned. Allah appreciates, thank you, and forgive you. Shakur means this is so much. Allah, when you thank somebody, when somebody makes a favor upon you. But Allah is so kind, is so generous to say that when you meet this quality, you have made a favor upon Allah. And this is out of His mercy. Otherwise, we have no favor on Him. All the favor is from Him. We are under His favor. But this is out of His kindness, out of His generosity, to say that Allah will appreciate you, Allah will thank you. Like the verse that says, "Man zallazi yaqruzullaha gharzan hasana." Who is there to give a loan to Allah? Allah doesn't need you. Whatever you have is from Allah. But this is a kind of mercy from Allah to call what you give in the way of Allah as a loan you are giving to Allah. Is to encourage you. So here Allah says, Ghafurun Shakur. Allah will forgive if they have shortcomings, if they have failures, and Allah will appreciate. For whom? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. This concept of Ghafurun Shakur is there with another verse as well. Only one other verse has Ghafurun Shakur for what you do. You know where is it? Surah Ash-Shura, verse 23. What is that verse? ذَلِكَ الَّذِي يُبَشِّرُ اللَّهُ عِبَادَهُ. This is the glad tidings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his ibad, to His servants. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those who had iman and they did good deeds. Then He says, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. I don't want any reward other than to love my Ahlul Bayt. To love Ahlul Bayt of the Prophet is the reward of the Prophet. Then He says, وَمَنْ يَقْتَرِفْ حَسَنَةً نَزِدْ لَهُ فِيهَا حُسْنًا. If you come with goodness, we will increase your goodness. We will give you extra. In that verse, those who are with Quran, we will give them extra. Then He said, وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Here again He says, those who love Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Surah Shura, verse 23. Here also says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Surah Fatir. So, only 2 places in Quran, Allah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. One is with Quran, the other is with Ahlul Bayt. This reminds you of what? Hadith thagalayn. إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمُ الثَّغَلَيْنِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَإِتْرَتِي أَهْلَ بَيْتِي مَا إِن تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِمَا لَن تَضِلُّوا بَعْدِي أَبَدًا. You want to be in the right path? The Prophet said, Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one verse says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. At the end, إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Only these 2 places. There is one more place that Ghafurun Shakur is mentioned. It is not for this dunya. In these 2 places, Allah talked about whatever you have to do. There are qualities, conditions you have to meet. Then you will face Allah with His name, Ghafurun Shakur. There is another verse which is talking about the day of judgment. Also Ghafurun Shakur is there. What is that? جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ يَدْخُلُونَهَا يُحَلُّونَ فِيهَا مِنْ أَسَاوِرَ مِنْ ذَهَبٍ. The gardens of Eden. This is the manifestation of Ghafurun Shakur that Allah mentioned in those 2 verses. And now this is in Jannah, inshallah. When you go there, this is how Allah will see and face you by the name Ghafurun Shakur. جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ يَدْخُلُونَهَا. They will enter, inshallah. يُحَلُّونَ فِيهَا مِنْ أَسَاوِرَ مِنْ ذَهَبٍ. There are for them bracelets of gold. وَلُؤْلُؤًا, and the pearls. وَلَبَاسُهُمْ فِيهَا حَرِيرٌ. They will wear silk. وَقَالُوا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي أَذْهَبَ عَنَّا الْحَزَنَ. Praise be Allah who removed all grief and pain from us. إِنَّ رَبَّنَا لَغَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. Allah is forgiving, Allah is thanksgiving. Allah will appreciate, inshallah, on the day of judgment as He has promised in those two places. To be with Quran, to love Ahlul Bayt, alayhim